Hello, and welcome to the second episode of the What's New with Lou podcast. Sit back, grab a drink, and relax as we take a dive into artists versus art. So today, Gooby Globbers, Gleeby Gloober Gloober Globbers, we are talking about an IP that I hold dearly to my heart. But it also has an author who is quite terrible. And what happens when you've loved something so truly to your heart and the person turns out to be kind of a piece of shit? I'm here today to talk about that. I'm an artist. I make art through all different platforms, and I like art. I'm a consumer of media and art, and the IP I'm talking about today would be Harry Potter. Harry Potter has grown so close to my heart. I grew up with the movies. Quite literally, I'm as old as the movies. 2001, the first release, and that was the year I was born. So, we all know J.K. Rowling is quite an awful human being. No need to say more. She, anti-Semitic, anti-trans, probably anti-other stuff that we just don't know at this point. And I frankly would rather not know because I'm done with her. But what happens when you want to consume the media she's putting out still? Or even go back to watch the old films or read the books. There are things in there that are quite disgusting, but to me, my personal opinion, I disagree with her on those things that she wrote but it's grown so close to my heart that it's usually one of the only ways of my escapism from, reality and the dredging, feeling of reality. It helped me out a lot as a kid when I was younger. 2 older brothers, great family relationship, not to flex, but great family relationship. But in a small town with not much to do, I resorted to things like Harry Potter. And it's tough, I don't want to support media. I don't want to support the new game coming out. But I am. And it hurts me to give money to things like that. Mainly with the game, it's a whole nother scenario because it's a whole studio working on it. They're getting paid that. And I doubt if, correct me if I'm wrong, that she gets pennies from that. She gets pennies, bills, dimes, nickels, bucks, big bongo bucks, from her theme parks and movies and shit like that. I don't want to support her, but I want to be a fan still. And it's hard. There's many encounters I had like this. That's close. I build Harry Potter Legos, I watch the movie still, probably more than I should as a 21-year-old. But that's fine. It gives me my escapism. It gives me the joy I need. And it's hard. I've had this happen to me with other things that I've cut out of my life. With some bands that I used to like. Number one mainly is Swimmers. I'm a huge Green Day fan. We'll get onto that in another episode. But his son Joey Armstrong, who was the drummer of Swimmers, came out. Well, he didn't come out himself. It was, opened up to know that he was a groomer. Not cool at all. And that's something I take very seriously, as seriously as anti-trans and anti-Semitic stuff. Maybe even more seriously I take those, but that's not to dismiss, it's all equally important, And that hurt me. Freshman year, I found Swimmers. They had Drive North, and they're about to release coming up in the next couple of years. whatever their second one's called. I'm blanking on the name, but I love that album just as much. And throughout 2016, 17, 18, 19, going into the pandemic, I love The Swimmers. Their first album resonated a lot with me as that freshman kid. A lot of themes on that album that I enjoyed and expressed as a more angsty teen. And I love them. They did a lot. And it hurts to me that I don't listen to their music much anymore, if not at all in the past year and a half, 3 years. Like, I can count on one hand how many times I've listened to them in the past 3 years. And that's the type of thing that hurts. They didn't stay accountable to their actions. Yeah, they may have kicked out the groomer of the band, but they continued to victim blame, not staying accountable, and all that. And that was a big fuck you to the fans. They didn't know how to handle the situation. And it sucks. So I stopped listening to it. I stopped supporting their music. They have a new song out now. Couldn't care. Dye your hair. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Cool. Awesome. Sweet. Not really, because you should just stop being a band. But then there's the stuff in the middle of that, where people were just dicks and not harmful to the society. There's asshats like Oasis. I love Oasis's music. They're amazing. They made amazing tunes. They're just dickheads to each other and kind of dickish to the public. I mean, don't quote me on it, but I don't think nothing too bad happened with them, like on the scale of the other stuff. They make good music. They made good music, but they're just fuckers, you know? And that, I don't feel bad for listening to their music time to time. It's something I can relate to in a way. They just make bops. Let's be honest. Oasis makes bops. I mean, you didn't get the meme anyway. Here's Wonderwall, if not for Oasis. Ain't that right? It's right. It's just right. So artist versus the art, artist versus art and artist, it can be hard to separate. And I can see why you can choose your own way to cope with that. And your own way to come around with it. And pick and choose scenario-wise who you support, who you don't support, and who you kind of like, okay, we'll listen time to time. Because it happens. As shitty as it is, it happens. And I'm not here to tell you, hey, don't support whatever. I can only push you to the right side, I suppose, in a way. But that's not my job. The job is for you. If you think something's bad enough, someone did such a harmful thing, and you can't listen to it, the band, or watch the media, or consume books, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. And we all find our way around that. But my thing is, artists out there, if you're trying to be an artist, if you're trying to make music, it's simple. It's not, I don't think it's hard to not be a shit stain on this universe and do harmful things to people. We've all done harmful things to people. I've done my fair share. But you learn, you grow, you apologize, you change your actions, you change how you live your life from that. And then those people decide if they want you in your life still. And I'm thankful enough to know that. I'm thankful enough that I had the opportunity to change. I did change, and I've done that. I've hurt people. And I'm sure you have too. I'm sure plenty of us have. It's just the way we choose to go on from there. If you do it in unaccountability, not apologizing, and all that, you're going to lose people in your life. You're going to be remarked as a shit stain on the universe. So if I'm here to leave you today with any advice on anything, just be nice, man. pay it forward somehow. And, you know, be you. Anyway, that hits our 10-minute mark, and I'll see you next time on a much longer episode of What's New with Lou.